guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kelsey, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about my new diet plan. But first, let me just start off with what I was doing before. So for the past year I was intermittent fasting. I did the 12 to 8 p.m. fasting, where I started my first meal at 12 and my last meal was at 8 p.m. So the reason that I'm quitting intermittent fasting is just because basically I've been at a plateau for the past months now, and no matter how much I work out and how less I eat, it's just not adding up in what weight I'm losing. I could work out a lot and eat at about 1400, and I would still only lose 0.5 pounds or even 0 pound, or some weeks I would even gain a pound, and it's just not adding up. So I feel like what my body is doing is that it's at a plateau, and it's just wanting to store everything and not wanting to lose anything, and it's just so frustrating to me. And so that's basically why. So I'm gonna quit intermittent fasting. I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna ever go back to intermittent fasting, because I honestly loved it. I loved how much clearer I felt in the mornings. I loved how much more energy I had in the morning, and I just love the mental clarity that I got from intermittent fasting. And also it allowed me to have bigger meals at once. But because my body is just at a plateau, and I feel like my metabolism is just so slow at the moment, so what I did was I started googling ways to beat a plateau, ways to get over a weight loss plateau, and something that I came across was carb cycling. So before I get into carb cycling, let me just first tell you what is carb cycling, in case you guys don't know. So I'm just gonna read off of this website here. It is acefitness.org. I'll leave it down in the comments below, the link for it, if you guys want to read it. So a carb cycling diet is a dietary strategy used among bodybuilders, fitness competitors, and certain athletes that are looking to increase muscle mass and shed body fat. It can also be used by those who need to bust through a weight loss plateau, which is what I want, and of course to shed fat and all of that as well. So what you do is basically you cycle between low carb days and high carb days, and there are a variety of ways in which you can do that. You could do low carb day, high carb day, low carb day, high carb day. But what I'm gonna do personally is low carb, high carb, low carb, high carb, and then one day for just a cheat day basically. So what will happen during those low carb days is basically your body will use up all those stored carbohydrates, glycogen, and use that for fuel. But what happens when your body uses up all those stored glycogen and carbs is that your body will then switch over to using your fat for fuel. It's kind of like a keto where, your body uses fat for fuel, but this is you're more alternating, so you can still have those carb days. So basically what happened to me was I ate a pretty low carb, but it wasn't entirely no carbs. I had carbs for lunch and sometimes a little bit for dinner, but most of the time it was just low carb, whereas I just had a little bit of carbs for lunch and then a dinner. But this strategy that I'm gonna try is just to not have carbs bread, starchy carbs on the 2 low carbs days before the high carb days, where I'll have my complex carbs, which are sweet potatoes, brown rice, quinoa. What I'm hoping that this will do is to basically shake up my metabolism, not only when I'm starting it, but I feel from what I've read and researched, when I have the type of metabolism that adjusts, whereas if you keep it not knowing what you're gonna do to it, basically you just keep switching and shaking things up, so low carb, high carb, your metabolism is gonna have a hard time catching up to that, and what it'll do is it'll actually work faster and not be able to store fat. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I weighed in this morning, so I'm gonna do an update video eventually, maybe in a week or 2 weeks. But so I weighed in this morning and I'm at 172.2 but I forgot to weigh myself before breakfast, so I had a small breakfast of 2 eggs, 2 slices of bacon, and a 1/4 cup of cheese. So today is actually my low carb day, high fat and high protein day. So that's what I had for breakfast before I weighed myself. The past year that I've kind of like not lost as much weight as I wanted to. You know, obviously there were times when I slipped up and I just like kind of like took a break from like trying to lose weight and was just doing the gym, going to the gym to be healthy, because I just needed a break from all the weight loss things. But I feel like when I was trying in the other few months, like my weight was just at a plateau and it was just so hard to get past like the weight loss plateau. If there is one pro that I could like feel out of not losing weight so quickly, is that like my skin elasticity was able to kind of like tighten up more and not like have loose skin. You know, granted I still have weight to lose, so maybe I could get loose skin, it won't be the end of the world, but I feel like losing the weight slowly allowed my body to not have any like looseness. But I've been just focusing so much on like core exercises, because I feel like if I were to get loose skin, that's where I would get like in my belly area. But I've been doing like ab exercises, and I feel like just overall losing weight slowly, incrementally, it just allowed my body time to adjust and to like get its elasticity back. And yeah, that is basically my plan, where I'm at right now. And in a week, maybe 2 weeks, I'll do an update video. I think I'll actually start this as a series. I'll do like my carb cycling experience series on here. So you know what, I'll do an update every week. So every week I'll weigh myself in, I'll tell you guys where I'm at, and just, I guess, hold me accountable to that as well. And yeah, that is basically it. I hope that this works in like a reboot to my metabolism, I guess, and also to just continue my weight loss journey. And yeah, that is it. If you guys have any questions, your experience, if you've done carb cycling, leave them down in the comments below. Like this video if you want to see more, subscribe so you don't miss my next video, and yeah, have a great day. Bye guys.